Podcaster Joe Rogan was the subject of a scathing attack this week by ABC Australia chairman Kim Williams. Despite admitting to never listening to the podcast, Mr. Williams continued to criticise Rogan in a rambling diatribe, even calling him repulsive.
Look, I'm not sure that I'm the right person to respond to that question. I am not a consumer or enthusiast about Mr. Rogan and his work.
Shocking.
I am not one of the 3 billion, and I'm unlikely to be 3 billion and one anytime soon. I think people like Mr. Rogan prey on people's vulnerabilities. They prey on fear, they prey on anxiety, they prey on all of the elements that contribute to uncertainty in society, and they entrepreneur fantasy outcomes and conspiracy outcomes as being a normal part of social narrative. I personally find it deeply repulsive, and to think that someone has such remarkable power in the United States is something that I look at in disbelief. I'm also absolutely in dismay that this can be a source of public entertainment when it's really treating the public as plunder for purposes that are really quite malevolent.
Joe Rogan responded to the footage on X, simply saying, "Lol, what?" Elon Musk, owner of X, also jumped on the bandwagon, hilariously saying, "From the head of Australian government-funded media, they're Pravda." Online commentators relished in the takedowns, with this commentator saying ABC chairman Kim Williams calls Joe Rogan repulsive and malevolent, then admits he's never listened. No wonder ABC Australia's ratings are in free fall even with $1.2 billion of taxpayers' money. Could Australia be any more embarrassing? This commentator doubled down, blasting the chairman. "I'll tell you what's truly repulsive, Kim Williams and ABC Australia. The fact that you think it's okay to attack those of us who are accountable every day to the audience and the market while you run your business on tax taken by force, stolen from a public that doesn't even want to consume the low-quality crap you pump out. You're unaccountable, unrepresentative swill. So don't you dare come after those of us who have had to make our own way in new media while you and your mob suck on the taxpayer teat to the tune of $1.2 billion a year. The audacity, the arrogance." The attack comes as the mainstream media across the world struggles to resonate with their audiences and as a result are hemorrhaging viewers. Elon Musk this week joked about buying MSNBC to fix the issue.
And finally, lefty MSNBC in the United States. You may have heard by now that its parent company Comcast is thinking about, punting it. In fact, they're pulling together all of their cable channels, pushing them off into a separate business and hopefully selling that business off. Guess who might buy it? Old mate Elon Musk is openly talking about the idea of buying the super lefty network just to sack some of these people. I'm sure many would dream to do the same with us, but still, you get the point. As for CNN, unaffected by this scenario, they're worried about the democracy,
Some inside MSNBC are taking Musk's comments seriously, whether he's trolling or not. There is a serious undercurrent to this, and it is the following. In some countries where we've seen democratic backsliding, where some oppositional media outlets have been captured by the government, a process known as media capture, this is exactly what happens. An ally of the leader, like Musk, comes in and buys a media outlet that is viewed as oppositional, and then he turns the content and makes it more friendly to the person in power.
Humpty Dumpty, please. The silencing of the media like it's going to be Russia. I'll give you the tip. Just like the Washington Post ended up getting bought by a lefty billionaire, most likely, even if Elon Musk buys MSNBC, a lefty billionaire will start something else. You see, that's the joy of capitalism. Where, unsurprisingly, the stations that stick around for the longest are the ones who are where the mainstream is, not just where the nutbags like that bloke are, who live half their life on Twitter and half their life watching television to talk about it on Twitter.
Joe Rogan also hopped on the bandwagon, saying he would like Rachel Maddow's job. Rogan often speaks about the demise of the mainstream media on his podcast, and he again discussed the issue yesterday, saying the left are trying to recreate him.
You pay people, it's not going to have the same impact. Yeah. I think these Call Her Daddy shows and all these different shows that she went on, I mean, I'm sure they had an impact. Yeah. But I think that in the future, I'm sure they're scrambling to try to create their own version of this show. Right. This is one thing that keeps coming up, like we need our own Joe Rogan.
Right.
But they had me.
Well, number one, they had you. Number one, they had you. They had you and they drove you away. Is that number one? But they also have, ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN.
Right, but that doesn't work anymore.
I know.
That's like you're using smoke signals and everybody else has a cell phone.
Yeah, that's right.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's just, it's a bizarre time.